Imagine if Bill Hicks was in Dude, Where's My Car? Like,
You're still listening. This is our final transmission.
Here it's the Final Transmission podcast. It is me, Sam Russo, and with me as always is Jamie Carruthers, and we are bringing you hot and fresh out of the kitchen. It's Spud Week. We have got for you
one spud.
One big spud. Tuck in, kids. Gather round.
Go on.
And fucking eat the spud.
Gather around and eat the spud. That's what they say, right?
Yep. That's
ring the spud bell. It's
in the parlance of our time. Tuck into this spud. I don't know about you, but I love tucking into a spud. But we're here today to talk about a 1993 film, a PG-13 no less. There's a lot to unpick here, Jamie. What a selection from you. It's Freaked.
It's Freaked from 1993, directed by Alex Winter and Tom Stern. It's not a horror movie. It is a special effects comedy.
You texted me and said it was. You said you were going to fight to the death to defend this film's honor as a horror movie.
That's a lie, and you
did say it is. You said which is a horror movie in capitals.
Did I?
Yep.
I don't think that's true, Sammy. I'm going to go.
You're going to pull a fact check on me.
I'm going to look at receipts right now.
Oh, receipts? You might have said it out loud. You definitely said it in some kind of format where I could see capital letters. Yeah. I could definitely see the caps. So while Jamie fact checks, let me talk you down memory lane here. So Freaked is a film that came out in the early 90s. You've given up already?
It's because there's nothing in our chat. So you're full of spuds, mate.
No, you definitely told me it was a horror film.
I didn't, because it isn't.
You were defending it to the hilt.
I will defend this film forever, but it's not a horror film.
Okay, so tell me why it's being featured in this horror movie podcast format. Not an accusation, just wondering why you chose it.
I think it's horror adjacent. It's a comedy that uses horror special effects. And
I've got you banged to rights, by the way. I found the quote.
Go on.
It's absolutely not a horror film, but I do not care. I misread it.
Yes.
Vindication.
Hoisted on your own petard.
I read it's absolutely a horror film and then just ignored the rest of the conversation. Sorry about that.
Well, I feel like that happens quite a lot in our texts.
How do you like them spuds?
Delicious, buttery spuds. We need to stop talking about spuds for 16 to 22 minutes.
I make no promises.
So the reason that I picked this now is a little bit obtuse, but recently we talked about how much we enjoy a made-up name of a chemical.
Oh, yeah.
In the vein of like a 2,4,5-trioxin.
Of course.
And it made me remember that Zygrot 24 exists in this movie and was like, oh yeah, Freaked. I love that. So maybe we should do that. And I think, you've never seen it before?
No.
And I mean, it's hard to gauge because it's sort of a great film that isn't a good film, but like in my head, I was like, this is a film that I think Sam should at least see.
You're being the doctor again. You're prescribing.
Yeah.
You're objectifying me.
Yeah. Pop this in the rectum and tell me how hot it gets.
Speaking of popping things in the rectum, Tom Stern directed the Butthole Surfers movie, the title of which is The Whole Truth and Nothing But. HOLEBUTT. That is a superb title for a Butthole Surfers movie.
So they directed together, Tom Stern and Alex Winter, they directed a bunch of like stuff for the Butthole Surfers.
Yeah.
Including, I mean, I was texting you about this the other day, but then including like a 11-minute short film with John Hawkes, which is a spoof of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Mm-hmm.
And is absolutely garbage great, unhinged madness.
Is Alex Winter the quintessential Butthole Surfers fan, do you think?
I think he's a weird case, isn't he? Because like he's ostensibly
dig into him.
Very famous because of Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
But like I feel like this sort of weird, esoteric, lowbrow art stuff is like his true first love.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously a bit of a head. You know, he loves the Butthole Surfers. He directed the Zappa movie. He obviously
Yeah.
loves a lot of like classic rock and alt rock of a very certain, you know, a specific era and brand. And I think he's very interesting culturally more than he is artistically almost. Like I'd love to read the fucking autobiography that he eventually writes
Yeah.
if he hasn't already.
And
I think he's a fascinating character.
yeah, this was originally developed as a vehicle for the Butthole Surfers, and it kind of outgrew them and became bigger and bigger until it became a feature. And they went into uh, the head of some studio's office after Bill and Ted, and he was like, "Yeah, here's $12 million to make your insane special effects freak movie."
That's a nice story.
It's a nice story until they made it, and then the regime in the studio changed, and the new head of the studio was like,
What the fuck is this?
what the fuck have you done? Where's my $12 million gone?"
I'm not seeing $12 million here, boys. Can you imagine? Like, you and me live such easy lives compared to Alex Winter. Can you imagine having to go into that studio and justify where that $12 million went to a studio exec who's saying, these are masks?
I mean, I think $12 million is on the screen here.
Oh, I totally agree, but that exec did not. And how
Yeah.
belittling to your art to have someone be like, boys, this is $49.99 at Kmart. Where the fuck's my money? Like, how do you fight that endless fight against the suits? My hat's off to them.
So they ended up only releasing it in one cinema.
Fuck
It
me.
didn't make any money. It sort of they shot it out onto home video, and it eventually found an audience, but it's taken years. The
And
DVD,
we are that audience. Welcome.
yeah, the DVD
Join
was
the
really
club.
hard to find for a long time. They've just recently done a Blu-ray release, which I've been trying to buy, but it was 75 quid when it was new for this Blu-ray, and
I'll make
now
back that $45 million.
and now the now it's out of print, so it's even more expensive than that.
It's because they made 6 of them and charged 75 quid. I assume that you own the DVD, though,
I do own the DVD, yeah.
in your collection. Yeah, of course. Of course. Well, what a storied history this film has. Shall we start, Jamie, with you, as is tradition, giving us a little synopsis?
Well, okay, so Alex Winter stars as a Ricky Coogan, former child star, who is employed by the Everything Except Shoes Corporation to be the spokesperson for their new chemical, Zygrot 24. As part of this brand ambassadorship, he has to take a plane down to Santa Flan in Central America, where he meets a protester who is protesting against the Everything Except Shoes Corporation. They take a road trip to the corporation headquarters, and on the way find their way into a freak theme park run by Elijah J. Scuggs, played by Randy Quaid. And not only is he displaying freaks in his freak show, but he also creates them using mad scientist methods. And he takes Ricky Coogan and his friends, turns them into freaks, and they join the band of merry freaks that live there to try and escape and defeat the mad scientist and the evil corporation. Freaked, 1993.
That's Freaked. That's an excellent synopsis. Did you clock I don't know if it's Rollins band, but it's clearly a Rollins song.
In the intro, that's Blind Idiot God. Featuring.
Is it Rollins band?
No, it's Blind Idiot God.
Well, that's the band. Okay, right,
Yeah.
right.
Featuring Hennas.
Because I heard the voice and couldn't place. I went on a deep dive once and listened to every Rollins band song, and I was like, wow, that was all unpleasant. And came out the other end of it, not a fan. But I could have sworn it was maybe some long lost. Is that like a side project of his then?
I think they're a band that exists, and it was just him doing guesty vocals.
Do you think it's a Big Audio Dynamite type thing? Do they call themselves Big? Blind Idiot God. Big.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Mm.
Bad song.
I think that song was written for the movie.
Oh, even better.
I think there are 3 songs that were written for this movie. That one, the hair metal song in like the montage scene, and then there's a
Yep.
Parliament Funkadelic song over the final credits that has like
Yep.
lyrics about the plot of the movie, which I always love.
I mean, I still think the best of that ever is the Dragnet rap, the end of Dragnet, rapped
Yeah,
by Pep Strebeck and
the other
well,
guy.
Joe Friday.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a fan of the Addams Family one. Also,
The Addams Family rap.
yeah.
It's nearly as good as the Anfield rap,
Okay.
featuring the excellent line, "My name is John Barnes. When I do the thing, my crowd go bananas."
Is that not in World in Motion?
Don't know. I just remembered John Barnes bananas being rhymed. I'm on my own. I see you staring at me. I want to take your eyes so I can see what you see. I see you point your finger, and my eyes look to the ground. I know that you don't like me and don't want my kind around. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. I want you to see a real freak. I want you to look at someone who looks just like you.
It's very
Give you the
Rollins,
rest.
isn't it?
Give you the rest later. Yeah, totally.
This has been a film that I've loved for a long time, Sam. This is like my absolute. I don't know if like this film was designed in a lab specifically for me and people like me, or whether I watched this film and was like, all of that. That's everything that I like.
How young were you when you first saw it? There's a child development theory that will put this to bed immediately.
I think I was probably 15, 14
okay.
maybe.
You were very much forming your personality at that point.
Yeah.
But you were pretty much like baked. You were done.
But I do love it, and I love it a lot. What did you tell me your sort of first thoughts?
Do you want me to read you all of my notes?
Sure.
Here we go. Just bringing them up now. Freaked. That's the
Good
first
start.
note.
Yeah.
Next note is cocaine. Next note, this is better than Beetlejuice. And then I stopped taking notes.
I mean, it is better than Beetlejuice.
This is, I don't fucking care what your opinion is. It is a fucking brilliant film. It is so absurd. Such an artifact of a time and a place and a bunch of minds and weird performances. Like it's got to be the last of its kind in a lot of ways. This is a total fucking waste of time, and it's quality.
Yeah.
What a shitty mess. It's great.
I think like as a movie, it doesn't really work.
I don't think it's a film.
Yeah, but as like as an artifact and as a like an art piece, that sort of that weird sort of lowbrow art thing that was happening throughout the 60s, 70s, 80s, and really became quite mainstream in the 90s.
Yeah.
And sort of disappeared in the 2000s because the internet meant that that sort of thing sat in an individualized silo, and you could go in there and find it.
It's the product of a very specific kind of creativity, and it's definitely a, you know, we're going to say the word freak a million times in this episode, and I should be clear that we're using it as a praise term. This is not the pejorative use of the word freak. This is the mind of a bunch of freaks. Like, I've always been kind of mystified by Alex Winter, and I've always really enjoyed the fact that he obviously had some superstar moments, you know, Lost Boys, Bill and Ted, etc. But that he has always been a real fringe presence, and that he's obviously got shitloads going on behind the eyes that nobody really gets a chance to see from his, you know, Hollywood output.
Yeah.
And I always knew he had one of these in his back pocket somewhere. That I always knew there was a movie like this in existence. I just hadn't found it. But there's a very specific patina to this madness and this creativity and this kind of, you know, nowadays people would just sort of dismiss it as like undiagnosed ADHD and unfettered access to money and celebrity friends. But I think it's way more than that. I think he you know, he is absolutely fucking off his tits, clearly. But he's pulling from deep wells of inspiration from music, from popular culture, from poetry, from theatre, from all over the place. A massive mixed bag of you know, influences on show here. And he's kid in a candy store kind of vibe. But it's also mixed in with this weird sort of like hungover fatigue. There's all kinds of shit going on here that I think is very much off screen. And it's created a complete shower of shit of a film that is truly a wonderful artifact of what you can get away with if you have one successful movie.
It's so insane that this exists in
Yeah.
in the way that it does,
Mm.
because there's only going to be like one time that someone in a studio is going to be like, here's $12 million to go make your stupid Butthole Surfers feature length music video. Like,
Yeah.
that's only going to happen once, and like it could. I'm glad that it was this one and not the 9 million other versions of this that could have existed in its place.
There's a lot of other guys, gals, people generally, artists who could have been awarded this opportunity and not done anything even remotely as interesting. I always think of like the whole Adam Sandler or Seth Rogen situation is really interesting, isn't it? Because they just get handed tons of money and told to do whatever they want, because they reach a certain level of celebrity cachet and studios approve them, but they never go fucking mental. Do you know what I mean? They never go psychedelic or surrealist or anything.
I think the nearest thing to this that exists in this level of mainstream, because obviously this, like I say, $12 million was a lot of money in 1993. It's a lot of money now, but it was much more in 1993.
Yeah.
The only other film that I could think of around the same time that is playing around in a similar sandbox is Freddy Got Fingered. And like,
perfect film, no notes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's some notes, but it's
how dare you?
Whoa, holy shit. I guess that's why they call it Phantom Power.
One of the things that I wanted to talk about is how did we get here in the 90s? Like how did gross out comedy become the sort of the pervading aesthetic of like media that was aimed at teenagers and younger kids as well? But like, if you think about like Ren and Stimpy and all that stuff, like why was
also
that
such an interesting anomaly as a cartoon?
I mean, an interesting anomaly, but also like SpongeBob still exists, and that does a lot of the same things. It's a sanitized version of it, but I would say that
it's a shaved version for sure.
But I would say that Ren and Stimpy was a sanitized version of like the weird stuff that was like coming out of like outside of comics in the 60s and 70s. So like, is it just that like in the 90s, the way that we consume media, there'd been all these sort of technical advancements in how we consume media through like VHS and like mass publishing and like cheap publishing and all these things that meant that these things that were like fringe and out there suddenly just became much, much more available. Or even that like the weirdo outsiders who were dabbling in all this weird, in like John Waters films or Big Daddy Roth art and Crumb and all this stuff, when it got to like the 90s, they were like in positions of creative power, and that allowed this to be like these freaks again in the complimentary sense. Like these freaks were like running the asylum basically. Is that kind of how that happened, or is it more cynical than that? And is it like kids love slimy shit? We now we have a position where we can market things towards kids that we would never really do before, say, the 80s. You got Howdy Doody and you can fuck off. That's it, right? So
I think it's even more cynical than that, unfortunately. I think it's, in every class, you've got a bunch of like relatively well-adjusted normal folks who go on to have relatively well-adjusted normal folk lives. Then you've got some freaks. And gradually, the ratio of freaks increased for a number of reasons. Probably Vietnam, for example, like lots of freak breeding as a result of lots of things happening in society. So a higher number of more visible and excitable freaks is one factor. But I think mainly it's a product of the studio system realizing if they entertain these 90s kids in exactly the way that they're socializing, in exactly the way that they're living their lives as young humans in the world, they will be consumers for the rest of their lives. They'll buy in, and they'll always trust that brand, and they'll always come back, and they'll be a certain type of person because you're shaping them that way. I think it's as gross as that. And I think these movies are outliers in that because they're too extreme,
Yeah.
to fit that model. They bust out of that paddock immediately. Whereas, your Bill and Ted's, your Wayne's World, your Ferris Bueller's, all that kind of stuff, much closer to the line, much more palatable, much more,
Yeah.
kid and parent friendly on a Friday night rental. Therefore, they shape culture. Movies like this, fall out of that, fall through those cracks immediately and shape something very different. They shape a different type of audience. And that's why, like you said, they commercially, not my words, but fail, don't they? They don't reach the
Yeah.
audience they should. And I think it's a deeply sad fact of art meeting capitalism that shit like this happens. But Alex Winter is obviously like a deep well of weird. And we've only really had a few, cupped handfuls of that wonderful deep well of weird. And
Yeah.
I think he continues to make good shit. He's still cool as fuck. And more
Did you
power
ever
to him.
did you ever see his sketch show, The Idiot Box, on MTV?
Yeah, I saw some of it. And again, I was going to say MTV is a huge factor in this.
Yeah.
MTV must have, again, cynically, produced an enormous amount of data about how people were consuming their output and shaped their entire brand around that and probably continue to do so. I think it's part of their whole MO,
Well, I think, I mean,
basically
obviously
milk a
they,
generation dry.
yeah, and like the fact that, I mean, is MTV dead now? Is it just gone, or is
Well,
it
no, MTV is still a huge like studio, isn't it? It's not doing anything that it was when
just showing
Freaks came out.
reality TV or whatever? But like, I
Yeah,
don't know if they're if they had the data of like, okay, people are engaging with these music videos over these music videos, so we know that the freaks are out there and they want, I don't know, the Dead Milkmen or the Butthole Surfers or whatever.
yeah.
And so we'll make art that, I mean, also like Beavis and Butthead is kind of in a similar space,
It's an
isn't it?
MTV show. Yeah, yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
And
And
like,
again, that's letting a freak in, isn't it? That's saying, yeah, okay, you can come in. We think you've got something here.
I don't know anything about Mike Judge as a person. Like,
Fascinating guy.
I can believe it, but like, I feel like he's a guy who's let his art do the talking.
Yeah, I mean, he reluctantly will do a bit of publicity and interviews and stuff, like especially with the recent, revival of both King of the Hill and Beavis and
Yeah.
Butthead. It's 2026, by the way. If you're listening to this in, well, I think we've only got 4 years left of humanity. So anytime between 26 and 30, we're talking about Mike Judge in 2026. But he, kind of reluctantly engages, but he does so really well. He is fucking great value because he'll go on like a massively mainstream outlet to talk about Beavis and Butthead, reluctantly do a voice here and there, and then just talk about like Ken Burns or
Yeah.
like the Civil War or something, like way too heady for what anyone gives him credit for, and also totally dismissive of bullshit more broadly. He's very interesting.
Yeah, and like you say, I think that Alex Winter is the same. He has a very specific sensibility, and this sort of beautiful mashup of like high culture and low culture that means that you can make a film like Freaked, populated fully with fart jokes and monster jokes, and people get their heads knocked off.
Mm-hmm.
And the goofiest jokes in the world. Some of my favorite jokes in any movie are in this movie.
Definitely some good slapstick, and that's another thing. I guess it's easy to underestimate what kind of an impact growing up around the full bloom of slapstick in popular culture must have on a lot of people creating movies in the 90s.
Yeah.
I know we talked about Sam Raimi endlessly because he's really fucking good at it, of channeling slapstick into a new medium and making it interesting and modern, for its time. But I think there's a huge tip of the hat here to just so much great old comedy and unashamedly and unabashedly just being like, look, this still works in a modern context with monsters. Bang, let's do it.
Yeah.
And I think it's fun. I will say, I do think the movie is potentially a little bit sort of disposable and one and done-ish. I don't think it has a lot of staying power, but you've probably watched it 400,000 times.
Oh, I've seen it hundreds of times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just go through some of my favorite jokes?
Gag me.
I mean, many of them are in the same scene,
Mm-hmm.
but when he's trying to entice the milkman to open the emergency door, it's also just funny when the emergency door is locked, the emergency exit is locked, and he's like, "That's illegal." Like, yeah, funny.
Yep.
But he's like, hey, I just laid a turd that's a spitting image of Kim Basinger. She's naked too. And he goes in, he's like, no, it's just a regular turd. It looks kind of like Winona Ryder. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of really of its time celebrity references as well, which is kind of fun.
I just think that's so funny. I don't know
Yeah.
what Winona Ryder did to them.
I don't know how they got away with that shit.
And then also in the same scene when Ortiz, played by Keanu Reeves, and Beast Boy, who's Alex Winter, are fighting.
Yeah.
And they're dressed in milkman outfits, and everyone else is also dressed in milkman outfits. And Randy Quaid's like, that's a lot of milkmen on the same route. No wonder they fight. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, and I found I didn't get the thing about 12 milkmen being fine, but 13 being like a lot of crazy shit about milkmen in this movie. I like that Keanu Reeves is in there as Dog Boy, and you don't know if it's him unless you figure it out. He got paid $1 million for that.
Yeah, that's one of the 12.
Pretty good.
I love the Ernie and Julie like double act when he's doing the joke about how many feminists does it take to screw in a light bulb, and I just think that's really funny because it's a terrible joke.
Yeah, bad gags. Love them.
Want to screw it in and want to ride my Rodney is
great use of Rodney.
Yeah,
superb.
All the stuff with his prosthetic penis hand in the opening in the plane scene, really funny.
Yeah,
when he's like, "Is that gravy?" and then like bats that woman up in the face. Really funny. I love the phrase, "You're ugly enough to burn the nose hairs off a dead nun." Great use of language.
Yep.
I love that the hideous frogman is just a French guy in a wetsuit.
It's great. And he's treated like complete shit, like the whole way through. When he's doing his big goodbyes, he's like, I can't remember what he says, but he's like, "You're irredeemable," and then moves on to the next one. Like, it's great.
Did you notice that Cowboy is John Hawkes?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
So John Hawkes was in like a Butthole Surfers adjacent art, punk, folk, psychedelic troupe called Meat Joy.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he is so that he's in the suit. He's in the cow suit.
Yeah. The whole time. Just that's John Hawkes. What the fuck?
And then like you see his face at the very end for like a second, but he's always obscured behind Alex Winter. Obviously they didn't know at the time that he was going to be John Hawkes.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's not that. I mean, I guess John Hawkes, kind of a classic, not late bloomer, but like had a much bigger career much later in life compared to, I guess compared to like Alex Winter, guys like that.
Yeah,
getting hot young.
Can we talk through the freaks and their different freakinesses?
Definitely. I just want to say I really enjoyed early on when the emergency door on the plane opens and people start flying out, and some great gags around all that kind of stuff. Fun.
Stewardess just comes and closes it.
Leans all the way out and closes it. Yeah, brilliant, perfect.
There are the gag with the Mexican guy getting smaller and smaller is funny, but the gag before that where he's like, "This is Juan Valdez," and he's like, "My name's George Ramirez," and they just have that really intense stare.
So funny that he just completely gets his entire name wrong. Love it.
And the way that he's like, "Yes, I am fine." Like really fun. It's
so much weird delivery that you know is just an in-joke that you'll never be privy to. So many weird line deliveries like that where you're just like, fucking hell, this is so wonderfully niche.
I think, I mean, you have a different relationship to Randy Quaid than I do, but I think this is, for me, his most iconic, most Randy Quaid performance.
I mean, me and Randy obviously go way back, and I think it's hard to really put a finger on his best performance. This is him flexing his whole range. I think there's an enormous amount of future Quaid in this. He's obviously like trying out some moves from start to finish. But the guy's been in fucking so many films. He's in this a lot. Yeah. I would say he almost outstays his welcome as a as a guy who I like in relatively smaller doses, character acting parts, etc. But I think he's flexing a lot of his range here, which probably tells you everything you need to know about Randy Quaid's range.
Yeah, I feel like he's having so much fun.
He's having a blast. I think he probably thinks this is a real movie. He probably thinks this is going to take him somewhere.
My favorite delivery of his in this entire movie is when in the big sort of final battle, he gets his head bonked by the Beast Boy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think you just crushed my spinal cord. It's
great delivery.
It's such good delivery.
Yeah, he does a lot of that. Do you know what I forget Randy Quaid's in? And he does a great job playing totally straight. And I don't mean that as a joke at all. He's in Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, nice.
And he's fucking superb. He plays a guy called Joe, what is it, Joe Aguirre or something? He's like the guy who either owns all the sheep on Brokeback Mountain that your two main boys are tending, or he like runs the operation or whatever. And he is fucking pitch perfect in that film. What weird casting. Who should we get to be this tough shepherd? I know, Randy Quaid. Let's see if he's free. Brilliant.
All right, so let's go through the freaks, right? We've got Alex Winter, he plays the Beast Boy, so half of his face is a gigantic
goblin,
gremlin-looking thing. There's like so many moving parts there that they basically had to build him a hunchback to like keep all the mechanics inside the hunchback. Mechanisms.
Yeah, looked hard to act in that particular prosthesis if you take yourself too seriously, which obviously he doesn't, so I'm sure he's fine.
Hard to act. So he would sleep in that prosthesis because it took 4 hours to put on, and he also had to direct the movie and star in it, and he wrote it. So
what a legend!
Yeah. So he figured out that if he slept in it, he could get 2 hours extra sleep a night.
Wow.
And he's like, I read some interviews. He's like a crazy like workaholic perfectionist, which I think you have to be to make something this weird.
Why would you bother otherwise?
This coherent, do you know what I mean? Yeah, like
why even start a project like this if you're not completely bananas? Like
yeah.
And
there's also like people have given us $12 million to do this, so
let's spend every penny.
Yeah,
I mean you can kind of tell he does always look quite tired.
Yeah,
in a good way.
So we've got Ernie and Julie are like a two-headed situation.
Loads of great gags there as well, like wonderfully fun on PC nonsense. At the end where he's just like, I just wish we could have boinked. It's great.
Yeah, I'd never have to go too far for a piece of tail.
Yep, superb.
Oh, it's so funny. And like
piece of tail.
The scene when they first see Ricky as the Beast Boy, and he's just like doing this intense like projectile vomiting, and she's like trying to do this old PC thing about like, you know, beauty's only skin deep, and then she just like can't contain it anymore. And then jokes like later where like Ernie's the half of them that is Ernie is like PMSing, and like she's hocking up loogies because he's got loogies in his throat or whatever. It's just like, it's so silly, so good.
And also quick as well. Like all of those jokes happen in like 2 seconds and you're on to the next explosive nonsense. Like really fast stuff.
Yeah, every joke in this is either works or doesn't work, but like it doesn't matter because there's always another joke.
There's 5 more coming,
Yeah. We've got Keanu Reeves as Ortiz, the dog boy. He's fine. As a freak, he's just kind of like a hairy human, like whatever.
Good fun though, good filler.
Yeah, there is the Toad Man.
Toad Man's fun.
He is fun. I like when he steals Ernie's cigarette.
Yep.
And when he tries to steal the popcorn, and Scuggs gets him with the red hot poker.
It's hard on one watch to remember every single bit of this film. I think if you're going to watch it, you've obviously got to pay close attention and bolt yourself in for it. But obviously,
I recommend taking
times.
7 pages worth of notes.
I recommend writing "It's better than Beetlejuice" and then closing your notebook.
You've got Derek McGrath as the worm. The prosthetics on that are amazing.
Looks so good.
Looks so good, and also just the running joke of him getting the psychology wrong. And being like, I too once had an eating disorder. Like, okay, mate.
It looks Hellraiser good. It's such a fun fucking look as well. And that's the other thing. I think they know the freaks that look great, but they don't necessarily linger on them or give them the biggest part. Like Worm is in it quite a bit, but it's not like we, make a real main character out of the worm. Whereas, fucking
Yeah, Sockhead.
yeah, Bobcat Goldthwait as literally a sock puppet on a man's body. He's in it loads and looks like complete hilarious dog shit. It's brilliant.
I think one of the things that I thought was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my life when I was like 15 and watching this for like the first time or whatever
I know what
is
you're gonna say.
is the scene where the sock comes off during the performance and
It's just the hand.
everyone's really mad about it, and Scott just like lay off him. Puppeteering is a skill in its own right. Like
So funny.
it's so funny. And like what do this audience think was under there?
Yeah, like a creature, I guess. It's literally a hand.
Yeah.
And at the end, when he's got like lipstick on or blood or something, like
Yeah, he's
it's so
dying
good.
and he's like
It's blood,
he's
yeah,
bleeding out of his little
his mouth, yeah, his little
Jennifer
sideways
Lopez mouth.
Yeah,
You've got Nosy the Nose Man. That's Jeff Kahn. I like that he's a bad prosthetic, looks stupid,
yeah,
and he's just really surly for no reason. And when he does his performance during the freak show, he is completely dressed in a gorilla costume, so you can't even see his big nose.
completely obscured. And I like at the end when he just says, "Go fuck yourself." It's just superb.
This cowboy, which is John Hawkes, amazing.
Yep.
Looks incredible.
Yeah. Great delivery as well. Like we know John Hawkes has got such great Southern dialect in him from later performances, but perfect, pitch perfect.
Yeah, and then is that everyone? Oh no, we're forgetting a big one.
Yeah,
Mr. T is the bearded lady.
of course. Would you also count I, the Rastafaris?
I mean, I don't understand what they are, but I love them.
I think I understand what they are.
But like,
It's someone got baked and was like, wouldn't it be really funny if we had two Rastafari eyes? Get it? They're like eyes, and someone was like, that's funny. And then they just had $12 million and made that a thing.
well, but in the context of the movie, I don't understand how.
That was going to be one of my only criticisms is the consistency of character for the Rastafaris is unclear. What's their motivation? I mean, they're obviously Rasta security guards for a freak show. Whose side are you on, boys? You're freaks. Pick a side.
Yeah, they should be in the milkman outfits, but then there'd be
Exactly.
15 milkmen, and that would be way too many.
Way fucking too. Apparently, that's too many. That's inconceivable. But I thought they were fucking brilliant. Just the fact that passed muster at every stage. Like, boys, we were we were ripping the bong when we came up with Rastafari. Do you think we should really go ahead with it? Like, are we quite expensive to dress some little people up in big eyeballs and then voice them as Rastas? Do we think this is going to age well? Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. I mean, it is really expensive. Are you sure? Yeah. And make the costumes fucking quality.
They're one of the best costumes in the whole thing. Like they look
just
like real
kept
eyeballs.
Going. Like, they just did it. What should we dress them in? Converse high tops, Mickey Mouse gloves, and Rasta hats? Yep.
Yeah. This was my
So
first
good.
instance of hearing the phrase "nobody move, nobody get hurt," which obviously became a big part of my life when that Transplants record came out. So
I bet it did, yeah. Yep.
So there's also Frogman, who we've mentioned, who is a French man in a wetsuit.
Of course.
There's Rosie the Pinhead. I love in her performance when she's just wailing incoherently and the crowd are swaying side to side like it's a beautiful song.
She's the worst freak, but yeah, carry on.
And then there's Lee Arenberg, who I love as a person generally, as the Eternal Flame. So he just farts fire constantly.
And is always a bit ashamed of it and weird about it, which is just very clever.
The scenes where we see Scuggs turning the people into freaks is so good.
Yeah, really good.
Because it's an escalating joke. They do it 4 times as well. So like obviously the joke of threes is, or the rule of threes is the classic comedy. And you hit the third one with Mr. T and it's really funny anyway. Because it's like, hey, do you think you'd be better off without a dick? Hey, you can keep the beard. Like Re-
Why the fuck did Mr. T agree to
So
this?
I have no. So Mr. T is, for someone who looks like Mr. T, is a very. He takes himself very seriously,
Yeah, no shit.
and the idea of him doing this and agreeing to this, he must have. I don't know what it was, but I love it. But then the next flashback is the hammer. They sort of zoom in on
Yeah.
the hammer, and we see Scuggs buying a spanner at a hardware store, and then him cackling maniacally as it cuts back to the hammer. Just like the hammer, how the hammer can't tell this story for one.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
It's great because I think if you like movies, which hopefully anyone listening to this does, my immediate reflex reaction is thinking to the writing process and how you get to that point where you've literally got Randy Quaid acting that part in an actual film that exists in the world that anyone can watch at any time.
Yeah,
And it's just in jokes. It's just fucking around. It's not like perfectly crafted, beat by beat comedy. It's just fucking hell, hammers are quality. And what if we have a hammer freak? Yeah, but how do we get there? Oh, I know. You can just literally pick one up in a shop and maniacally laugh, and then bang, we've got a fucking human hammer. Jobs are good. And
yeah.
that's just funny. Objectively funny.
I can't even verbalize, which is bad for a podcast. Like why, how special and magic this movie is. Just like the idea that,
Yeah.
like the culmination of things that had to happen for this movie to exist is so. It's like it's a 1 in a million shot, 1 in a billion shot.
It's pretty rare. Yeah. And also, I kind of like that they basically pissed it away. Like, they could have taken that 12 million and made some kind of at least like semi-serious, safe genre classic of some kind and secured themselves, real like tight lanes for their career. They could have picked a lane and been like, right, we want to be somewhere between Wayne's World, Ferris Bueller, whatever kind of fucking
Yeah,
big hit comedy existed at the time. We want to appeal to teenagers of a certain age with longevity. We want to do this. Let's just get high and make some mad shit.
yeah. I mean, let's make the exact movie that we would want to watch.
Yeah, right now. And let's make it, if it's disposable, fine. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be fucking Schindler's List. Let's just knock it out.
Yeah, well, I would much rather watch this than Schindler's List.
Me too. What do you think of Alex Zuckerman as the troll?
I think that he is the best production value because he doesn't have any freak makeup on
Just
until
big ears.
till the end of the movie, and
Yeah.
he looks completely like congruent with all of the freaks. Sorry, mate, but like it's a face straight out of like a Mad magazine.
I was going to say, he basically is the Mad Magazine kid, right?
Yeah,
I think that's got to be a point of reference.
and obviously part of it is Alex Winter calling in favors or friends or whatever and be like, hey, William Sadler, come and be in this for 5 minutes and be greasy as all fuck. Like,
But also take $1 million for the job.
you think William Sadler got paid $1 million?
I reckon he probably paid all of his mates $1 million. You can't pay Keanu $1 million and then not pay someone else $1 million.
Well, Keanu is Keanu though.
But at this point, he's not Keanu.
He's post Point Break, like
He's cruising upwards for sure, but he's not like miles ahead of his peers. He's another really interesting fish, right? Because I remember when they did the most recent Bill and Ted, whenever that was, 2024 or whatever, the interviews that he and Alex Winter would do were, they're such different human beings.
yeah.
They've had such different lives. And Keanu Reeves remains somewhat of a mystery, I think, to the world broadly. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck does Keanu Reeves do every day?
Sits on a bench and eats a sandwich.
Yeah, but he hasn't really tipped his hand to the world regarding like a lot of the finer details of his life and his career and the things that he says yes to, things he says no to, the charitable causes he works with, how he actually...
I mean, he played Download this year.
Fucking hell, did he really?
Yeah, in his band Dogstar.
Crikey. He
Like,
sure
there's-
does love playing bass.
They're still going strong. And like,
Good on him.
I think obviously they get anywhere because of the Keanu Reeves of it, but like he doesn't scream about it and be like, "Hey, book me, I'm Keanu Reeves."
That's why he's interesting.
Yeah, like him and Alex Winter were in a Broadway run of Waiting for Godot like last year.
which is such a fun friendship to me. I mean, look at their careers, look at the things they've done separately and together briefly,
Yeah.
twice or three times, whatever. It is fascinating to me that those friendships exist and continue to exist in a place like Hollywood that just obviously annihilates people. He's like, I don't know. I think I'd like to spend time with him.
I mean, I think Keanu Reeves is maybe one of the worst actors that continues to get work.
That's what I mean. I don't want to slag him off. I'm being really cautious with my words here because I haven't really seen him deliver a show-stopping performance where you're like, that is an actor. You know, where you walk away.
Yeah.
Even people in this movie have delivered performances that are lifetime achievements. You know, like, I don't know, John Hawke's Winter's Bone, that kind of thing. Like, fucking slobber knocker performances. He doesn't really have many of those, and yet he's one of the richest people in the world, like from acting. It's really interesting.
It's true. It's true. It's a weird situation to be in.
Yeah, I bet he fully acknowledges how weird it is.
And like he's one of those actors that I think he's figured out how to have a presence. And if you write to Keanu, then he can be the guy in the movie. And he also, I guess, just works really hard. And that's why the John Wick movies work. Is that like he'll work hard, he'll do the choreography, he'll learn the moves.
I mean, there is a lot to be said for working hard, having the right attitude, and showing up. And maybe he's an embodiment of a bygone era in Hollywood where that would actually land you a career. And obviously he just also an element of luck being in the fucking Matrix, you know?
Yeah, and like wasn't the Matrix like he wasn't first choice. He was like,
and it wasn't necessarily going to be a big or great film, you know, it was still a bit of a punt.
Yeah, and like I think obviously where him and Alex Winter, I mean, they're tied together because of Bill and Ted, but like where their career diverged is like, I think Alex Winter was much more interested in being a director. And he's made some movies that I haven't seen. He's made some movies that I have seen, but he made one like 2 years ago with Josh Gad, and like he's made a bunch of like shorts and documentaries, and some of them I've seen. He's like acted in a few things. He pops up every now and then. He was in the movie Destroy All Neighbors, Shudder, a couple of years ago, that I thought was great and very much had some of this freaked spirit in it. And you also see some of this sort of freaked spirit in the newer Bill and Ted.
Yeah, he brings a really specific energy, doesn't he? It becomes something you can identify once you see a few more of his movies. Can you imagine Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter, and George Carlin just hanging out while they made Bill and Ted? What a fucking meeting of minds! Freak paradise.
George Carlin is such a weird person in my brain because, like, obviously he is this mythical, like, free speech bastion of a comedian and is so, like, lauded. And then in my brain, someone says George Carlin, my first thoughts are Rufus and the guy in Dogma. It's like...
It's weird because I actually grew up knowing George Carlin's comedy way younger than I should have. Like the way you were exposed to horror movies is how I was exposed to comedy. Basically, I was listening to Lenny Henry when I was like 9, and you know, kind of grew up knowing George Carlin's stuff for a really long time, and then obviously discovered Bill and Ted and had it in the right order. Like, here's this like 60s, 70s counterculture stoner dude who's in Bill and Ted. That's fucking awesome. And then his 90s stuff is so much darker and so much more edgy and more combative. And then followed him his whole career and love him to death. So but I understand the weirdness of that. Like, how the fuck is he Rufus? It makes no sense. Obviously a good actor as well. Like,
imagine if Bill Hicks was in Dude, Where's My Car? Like,
I can imagine it. I wish he could have pulled the fucking stick out of his ass to do it instead of dying. That would have been quality.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, take my money, boys. God, if he was still alive, he could be in Dude, Where's My Car 2? Is there already a 2?
I don't think there is a 2. I think they did one and done.
I find that hard to believe.
I think, another one of those like weird highbrow, lowbrow, goofy things.
Do you know what it should have been?
Go on.
It should have been Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter.
Well, yeah,
It's Ashton Kutcher and Sean William Scott. It should have been Keanu and Alex back again.
yeah.
Should have been fucking
Bill
Bill.
Hicks.
Where's my time machine? It could have been like, dude, where's my car? Hot Tub Time Machine and Bill and Ted combined.
I think it should have been Bill Hicks and Sam Kinison.
Oh my god, perfect, absolute perfection.
I love Sam Kinison. I
Should have
think
been Bill
he's-
Hicks and Sam Elliott.
No, yeah.
What a combo. Do you think this is a good Bobcat movie? I know you're a big Bobcat head.
I am a big Bobcat head. I think it's weird because like this is much more in line with who Bobcat is as a performer and as a comedian.
It's
Like
kind of voice work, right?
yeah, but also like he was a weird comedian who did weird stuff who just sort of became inexplicably very famous
Yeah.
and
Time and
then
place.
parlayed that into weird wrong movies that weren't really right for him. Like he has no business being in Scrooged or being
Oh, he does.
but I mean he's great in it, but like
He's a jackpot for Scrooged.
but like his comedic persona from his stand up, like he moves away from that in his feature film work. And this is much more in line with what he was doing in his stand up is what I mean. Like
Sure.
and also like the stuff that he's doing in Police Academy is kind of in line with his stand up, but like that movie
Yeah.
is the wrong movie for like he shouldn't be in like a bawdy sex comedy about cops. That's really
I suppose.
not the right place for a Bobcat.
What is the right place for a Bobcat then? Have you seen all the stuff where he gets banned from all the, late night talk shows and stuff for like setting furniture on fire and shit?
Of course, yeah, and slagging
fun.
off Seinfeld. Obviously, Jerry Seinfeld used a lot of his clout in the industry to like burn as many
Kill
bridges
Bobcat.
for Bobcat as possible because he called him out for dating a 17-year-old.
Brutal.
Yeah, and
Jerry.
I have you seen any of the movies he directed? The Bobcat directed. They're some of
Yeah, you recommended me one once and I watched it, but I can't remember it.
Was it World's Greatest Dad with Robin
Yes.
Williams? Oh. If anyone's
I
listening
remember it now.
and they haven't seen that movie, go watch it and read nothing about it beforehand.
I would echo that advice.
Come on, man, does that thing even work? No. There's nothing out there. It's just dead air.
Brooke Shields is in this movie. What the fuck?
Brooke Shields is in this movie, and she's really the sort of the framing device. We didn't really talk about that of like him giving this monologue in a talk show, and he's shot in shadow, so he appears to still be a freak, and then they light him, and there's just a cactus behind him. Really funny, and then presumably she's been Elijah Scuggs the whole time, and has pretended to be a TV presenter to get a TV show so she could maybe interview Ricky Cougar.
I'm going to go
at
as
some
far as say
point.
it's the
Like,
best gag of the whole film. I think that coupled with the reveal, it's layered, it's dumb, it's unexpected, it's slapstick. It kind of encapsulates the whole movie. I wouldn't be surprised if that was written as the main thread of the movie. Here's a great gag. Let's build a movie out of this device, this storytelling device. I think it's one of the best aspects of the film for me.
I think the way that her feet look when they're like, oh yeah, he looked just like you, Sky, same dress and everything, but he had these hideous mutated feet. And then it just pans down to her feet.
Of course they do.
And they look incredible.
Brooke
Like-
Shields' feet.
I mean, we didn't talk about, obviously we talked around the effects, but the special effects in this, there were so many effects that they needed to do, like makeup effects and like animatronics and stuff, that they basically had to hire 3 different companies to run all of the special effects. Which
I was
is
going to
why
say,
they
it
don't
sounds like a
look
recipe for
consistent.
disaster. You're going to get like, because back then every studio had their own look, their own specialty, their own personality, their own like idea of what things should look like.
Yeah.
But it's the disparate nature of these mutants and the sort of visual range that you get from lots of different people bringing lots of different shit to the table that I think makes it fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got like, I mean, the name at the front of the movie is
Yeah.
Screaming Mad George, who obviously we've seen a lot of his effects in horror movies and whatnot, because
Mhm.
he's one of those guys, and he's great. And like he handled like the Rat Fink like style stuff that we see on Ricky Coogan and on the Gluckman character when he becomes a freak at the end as well.
Yeah.
And like they look amazing. It's like Gremlins 2 on
It's
steroids.
on
It's
par
so
quality
good.
wise with something like Gremlins
And
2,
then
right?
yeah, I would say so. And I think like this movie exists because of Gremlins 2. I feel like if Gremlins 2 hadn't have been, when was Gremlins 2? Was that before this? It was, yeah, it was like 91,
The new batch.
1990, yeah. So the only reason that this movie gets
Right.
greenlit is because of Gremlins 2. And I mean, Gremlins 2 is a film that, similar to this, kind of shouldn't work and does, but it's a lot more mainstream. I love Gremlins 2.
Oh, who doesn't? You know what else came out the same year as this that has, I'm not going to say the same vibe because it's not the same comedically at all. It's not really the same visually. It's a completely different studio property, but I feel like there's a sort of spiritual connective tissue here. And you can tell me to shut the fuck up and go to bed if I'm way off base. But I feel like there is some connection here with the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like
You've got Dennis Hopper,
the tone of the Super.
King of the Freaks.
Yeah.
You've got Fisher Stevens, who really just should be in Freaked.
Yeah.
Richard Edson, Freak.
Yeah. And you've got like slime and like weird.
Toad.
Yeah. The thing about Super Mario Brothers is it's people that grew up liking a certain thing. Your Blade Runners, your like William Burroughs, and like your cyberpunk novels and all of that stuff, being like, okay, we've been given this nothing property to make a movie out of. It's about a man who
Yeah.
jumps on turtles' heads. Like,
Unfortunately, it has to be about a plumber
yeah,
who saves a princess by crushing turds.
yeah. Like, and they don't even look like Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
So like
Madness.
basically, like, I think every generation of like culture is built on what the people grew up with.
Yeah.
So like, and what like the pervading creatives like grew up with, and that's how you ended up with so much slime and weirdness in the 90s, because like all these people
We grew up slimy.
yeah, everyone grew up watching Ghostbusters or Toxic Avenger or John Waters movies and weird, you know, Japanese stuff and like whatever. And like there were all these people with like pass tapes around and like listen to Halloween creaky coffins open on records or whatever. And like
Yeah.
they brought all of that with them into them being a creative, and were able to then be like, cool, I guess if I take all of this and put it together, I could sell that to someone who was like me 25 years ago, but now they can have all of it all at once.
Yeah.
The industry is cynical because the industry is saying like, we'll take that and we'll market that and we'll make money from this. We'll extract money from kids by giving them exactly what they want. So like it's cynical, but also you're getting exactly what you want.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth remembering it obviously took a really long time to make a movie back in the 80s as well. You had to have the idea, you had to write it, you had to get it greenlit, you had to get it funded, you had to make it, which took a really long time. The press cycle, the act of like physically releasing the movie, end to end. The shit that you started with is old by the time it comes out. And if you started with old shit to begin with, you're left with artifacts like the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
like it ages itself out almost.
There are a million of like jokes that have aged themselves out of this as well. Like,
I like Ike.
I like Ike's sign because I think it's just it was old then anyway, right? But
yeah,
all the references to like Bob Vila, who I only know who Bob Vila is because of Home Improvement.
Yeah.
And he also pops up in Hot Shots in like basically the same capacity. This isn't really Bob Vila, and it really is Bob Vila in Hot Shots, but like
Sure.
basically the same gag that he's like helping them design their torture chamber or whatever.
Mm.
There's like a bunch of like Three Stooges references in this, and like weird Paul Lind in the Celebrity Squares, or what do they call that in America? It's not called Celebrity Squares in America, but whatever it is.
I don't know.
But when they're playing that game, like he was a person that would be on that, and then I guess he died. I have no idea. I mean, I assume he died. They have a skeleton.
Hollywood Squares?
Hollywood Squares. That's what they call it, yeah. But I guess he died, and that's why they have a skeleton. It's a weird joke.
It's a super weird gag, and all those like pop culture gags for the 90s. It's like you said, it's shit they grew up with, so it's already old.
Yeah.
Like
when I was 14,
I like it.
I had no frame of reference to who Paul Lind was, and there was no way for me to find out because the internet didn't exist. But the idea that they said a person's name, it was a skeleton, and everyone screamed in horror. Like that's funny enough by itself. I don't need to get the joke to find it funny.
No, for a 14-year-old, that is like skeletons are funny enough.
Exactly.
Let alone like the reaction and the name.
Yeah.
Is this the best Me Too movie? A man of small stature,
yeah,
but big feels.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I can't think of loads of movies where I've seen Meet You.
Is it better than Waxwork?
It is better than Waxwork. We've got two people from Waxwork in this, you know.
Who's the other?
The guy that does the subtitles for the culturally inept.
Wow. Wow.
Which
double Waxwork.
I think it's
Holy shit.
also just a really funny gag of like translating the soliloquy from Richard III into "I'm ugly and I don't get laid."
Yeah, it's brilliant. Again, like there's so much fun, like cultural, semi-academic shit in this film that elevates it above MTV. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's they're clever guys. Michu did some stunts in Look Who's Talking.
Of course he did. Like another thing that I took from this that informed my sort of knowledge of culture moving forward was that people would do these traveling freak shows and they would have someone who is like quote unquote hideously deformed doing these like big Shakespearean monologues or whatever.
Yeah.
And like because I knew that made, and I only
it
knew,
makes it funny.
I only knew that because of this. It made the Ballad of Buster Scruggs make sense to me. Like,
of course.
So like, I would never have got that potentially.
Yeah.
Without this film existing, it's magic.
You know, Michu played Alf.
I could believe that. I love this movie. Again, I think it's probably technically a huge failure of a film, but as a string of jokes, as a piece of content, as an artifact of a generation, as a piece of outsider art that made inside a system that is designed to not allow this sort of freedom and excitement and joy to. The Hollywood system exists to beat out creativity to the point where everything becomes palatable mush. And the idea that this film managed to break through all of that and be as insanely weird as it is and not really work and still just be an absolute joy to behold, like fucking fair dues.
Yeah. I think if I was going to fuck with the status quo and mess with culture, I would put this in one of those like alien contact pods.
Yeah.
Like when aliens need to understand human art and communication and culture, they should probably see this. And I would also go to redscare.net and I would peruse the wares of Chicago's finest punk rock record label. Those are the two things I would do to really fuck the man.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie, we're coming to the end of our time together this evening.
So as a rating, I'm going to give this the full bag of macaroons. No,
but I hate macaroons.
No skimping on the coconut. Like,
yep,
these are top drawer macaroons. That's my rating. I just think is
that a rating? All the macaroons?
Yeah, the full bag. Time release serum macaroons.
Superb.
Poor Worm, just because he doesn't like macaroons, he never gets to wipe his own ass.
It's a real shame.
Yeah. What's your rating or your sum up, Sam?
I'm going to give it 12 milkmen out of 13 because I think there's not a moment in this movie where the people who made it aren't doing exactly what they want to do, and I have an enormous amount of respect for that. I do think it's shit.
Yeah.
Like in the nicest way possible. It's not, it's not got anything in it that is going to sustain me in terms of, it's not going to stick with me as a film. It's not a masterpiece, but it is so immensely fun. And so it's like a commercial. It's like a really fun ad. It just does its thing and then it's over, and that's the end of it forever. For me, for someone like me. But I think it's so well done in terms of the execution of all the gags, the bits, and the whole atmosphere of the film. The general freak vibe is in bright neon, and it's there to enjoy and it's there to savor. And I think it does a fucking superb job of nailing that whole sticking the landing of a huge risk is what I would say I admire this film for the most. So well played team. Really, really, really would like to know what Mr. T thinks of it, but apart from that, superb.
Yeah. Well
played, boys.
Nothing else to say then, Sam, except go to our social media at FT Horror Show, your platform of choice. Go to patreon.com/Final Transmission. Sign up, give us some money. This is free, but it costs money for us to do it. So if you would give us $4-5 a month, whatever it is, that would be lovely.
Costs us our lives.
It does. Our time.
This is the only time we get to be alive in the world.
Yeah. You can look at what Sam's up to. You've got some tours coming up over at Sam Russo Music on Instagram. You can look at, my Instagram's private, but if you request to follow me and you don't look like a freak, then I might accept. And that's at Carruthers with a Z and no E. You can follow me on Letterboxd at JamieFT. And we'll see you next week. We'll see you next time for... Oh, we should mention that we're doing fortnightly episodes for the foreseeable rather than weekly. So just so you know, that's the thing that we're doing. And we'll see you next time for our next Final Transmission. So say I'm a big, smelly, freaky deaky dingbat, Sam.
I'm a big, smelly, freaky deaky dingbat, Sam.
See you later, everybody.